Defensively, make sure we're all getting rebounded. No second shot. In transition, everyone talking. No open threes in transition.
And Tom Thibodeau wanting his team to pay particular attention to certain areas of their defense.
Yeah, taking care of the defensive boards, allowing no easy baskets on the fast break. These are key elements in terms of you having success.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. So on the floor for Minnesota, Gorgie Yang is out there with Taj Gibson. Then there's Muhammad. Then it's Jones. And it's Crawford at the 2. Jones, no one around him. The dive for the ball. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will take it. Cole Aldrich. He's checked in for Minnesota. Bielitsa comes in for Jamal Crawford. Here's Napier. So there's a new procedure for choosing starters in the All-Star game, Doris. Fans account for 50% of the vote, as you know. Players, 25%. Media, 25%. What do you think of that? I
love that the fans have a vote. I would like to see the percentages change in this way. I would like players, the peers, to have 50% weight. Give the media and fans 25% each. So just swap it so that the peers are dictating the outcome of the All-Star.
Or even if you just had maybe 2 players from each team, guys with some respect and some nice perspective to fill that role you're talking about.
That's a great point. You pick your leaders from your group, and they cast the vote. Perfect.
They get it back. Azealia screen. Here's Napier. Back to Azealia. Over Aldrich. Azealia gets the bucket.
That's easy. We call those bunnies. That's what they need.
The Timberwolves have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Jones kicks to Bielitsa. Screen by Jones. Pass to Muhammad. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. Hey, Doris, Shabazz Muhammad, a player that has slid nicely into that 6-man role, comes in looking to score, but does so in an efficient manner and can help his offense without taking too many shots.
Right, Kev. You don't find too many 6th men who will come and consistently shoot over 45%. Shabazz Muhammad has done exactly that, and it's rare to have that kind of efficiency off the bench.
Muhammad hits them both. And All-Star Week, a fan favorite certainly. But, Doris, I've heard you say on more than one occasion you'd love to see a 3-on-3 competition.
Kevin, I think if you're trying to learn the game of basketball, putting yourself in a situation to play 3-on-3 is one of the greatest ways you can develop your game. One, it teaches you how to pass and cut, right? You cannot be effective in a 3-on-3 game unless you understand how to screen for somebody, how to set yourself up to come off of the screen. The shorter dynamic of the 3-on-3 in a half-court environment is one of the best ways to learn how to play the game of basketball.
I love that analysis. That's terrific. Outside, Jones. He kicks it to Gibson. Expanding his range. Here's Aldrich. And Cole Aldrich with the slam.
But you just can't allow a guy that kind of position. Aldrich leaves no doubt.
Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Passes it to Connaughton. Azealia screen. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Conley.
Boy, Gibson's so good at timing these rejections. Twice on the pipes from Taj.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
So Portland ends up going with the new group. Minnesota also with the sub. Brooks checked in. They set the pick.
And now only 1 away from being in the penalty.
Lillard comes with the double team.
That's just phenomenal defense. The defense feels like it's all over the place and knows exactly how to guard it.
Good.
Oh, since the break, its efficiency has gone up a notch, looking really polished now.
Doris, one result of the new CBA, minimum contracts increasing 45%. That's a big help to the NBA's working class, I think.
Well, I don't... there's any question that you see increasingly role players, someone like Draymond Green, whose value has not necessarily translated in terms of points per game, but his value to winning can't be calculated. And you're right. You know, you see important role players and guys below the superstar level increasingly becoming better compensated. And hey, listen, there's more of the pie to go around. Who doesn't enjoy a little more cherry pie, Kev?
Good thoughts. Good thoughts. For Portland, they've gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. Here's Weber. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. That free throw, no good. And the second free throw, good. Doors with the players being so athletic and the plays happening so incredibly fast. The league is looking at maybe 4 or 5 officials. Would that just be more whistles or better officiating?
I'm glad you're chuckling about this because I don't know how the geometry of this works.
Thank you.
As it is, sometimes the size of the players seems to swallow up dimensions of the floor. Kevin, one of the things that Steve Kerr once said to me was, we are trying to make officiating a science, when in fact officiating is an art. And sometimes mistakes are part of the game. Can we leave the officials alone, please?
And I think if they're over 90% correct, which is, I think, even low in terms of success in them calling a game, that is phenomenal. And the analytics, as you know, Doris, coming from the league office, is off the charts. They've never been more detail-oriented.
Correct. The NBA officials are the best in the world. Are they perfect? No. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Let's just play on.
Wow, fired that bounce pass in there. Beautiful.
The Trailblazers have gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field. On the wing, Ellis. The feed to Nova. Some nice ball movement here by the Trailblazers. Outside to Weber. Hits it from three-point range.
Boy, that was a good kick out for the assist. Finding his open teammate on the outside.
Brooks with it. There's the pick. Screen by Jones. Brooks kicks to Bielitsa. Doris, looking at the way the playoffs are set up, the top 8 teams from each conference get in. So at what point might the league eliminate divisions altogether?
I don't think that's far in the future, to be perfectly honest with you. What I'm as curious about, Kevin, is would they ever see the teams, regardless of Eastern or Western Conference, because there seems to be some disparity in level of competition. Is that something you'd like to see, Kevin, where the teams are simply seeded 1 through 16 based on record?
I don't think I'd mind it, Doris, but I do like the fact that, kind of like in the other sports, where you don't have the familiarity, but you always think about what would it be like to see a 5-game series, Cleveland Golden State, whereas in the regular season, just there and at home. And there's something, I think, kind of mysterious, and you can project so many different things. It's great fodder before a series begins.
No question. It'll be very interesting to see which direction the league goes in.
Ellis can't get it to go. Minnesota's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Muhammad, no luck. Portland's gone 1-3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Lillard against Brooks. Now, here is Weber. He's covered closely. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Weber's got 13 points in the second half. Screen by Jones. Doris, some people are pushing for Holcomb Rucker to be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. What do you think are the chances of that happening?
You know, I think contributions to the game take many shapes and forms, Kevin. And obviously, Rucker Park is one of the most identifiable places in the history of the game. If you're a city basketball player, you know Rucker Park. You tried to prove your bona fides there. So if the committee believes Mr. Rucker is worthy, I am all for it.
Clock at 4. That's a 2 from Lillard. That's short off the rim. The Timberwolves shooting a paltry 33% in the fourth. Not a good showing for this offense. Right side, Jones. Lillard against Brooks. To the right side. It's Bielitsa. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Novak with the three. Nurkic kicks to Lillard. There's the dish to Weber. That three off the mark. Minnesota shooting reasonably well, 45%. Brooks outside. Shoots the three. Good on the three-point shot.
Guys, listen, the defense was totally invisible on that three-point attempt. Nobody even in his zip code.
To the wing right side. Lillard outside. It's deflected. Here's Jones. No good on the shot. And it's Portland the other way.
No doubt it's been a rough game for him. I don't think he's going to lose any sleep over it as long as they hang on to the lead the rest of the way.
It's Bielitsa. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Brooks.
That's an example of great communication. He knows the spot to get to, and the pass is waiting for him.
Lillard dishes to Weber. And now Minnesota on the fast break. Brooks has got the ball. Yep, it counts. Brooks has got 5 points in the quarter.
And how's that for a solo performance?
Well, you couldn't do it any better than that, Greg. Textbook execution on the break.
Out to the right wing. Lillard against Brooks. Weber kicks to Lillard. Novak with the three. Buries it from three-point range.
And after a scoreless first half, you're starting to see signs of life here in the second.
Jones, the pass to Bielitsa. They set the pick. Back to Jones. And Doris, looking at the financial health of the league, tremendous TV ratings with the finals coverage again. Nearly half the teams valued around $1 billion, which to me is just unfathomable. Are we in the golden age of professional basketball in this country, of the NBA?
I think certainly we are in one of the great generations for the NBA. And think about this. I know soccer is the most popular game worldwide, Kevin, but increasingly basketball beyond the borders of the United States is one of the most popular and fastest growing sports. So I don't think there's any question the NBA is at its peak of its popularity with no end in sight. And I think there's a reason for that. You know, I think there's something very tangible and touchable to the NBA fan. Look at a guy like Steph Curry. He looks like every man, and yet he's finding tremendous success. It's appealing to NBA fans of the next generation.
And the first one at the line is good.
And Kevin, for a guy as powerful as Muhammad, you'd like to see him get to the free throw line a whole lot more than he does.
An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Vasili's checked in for Nurkic. Noah Vonleh comes in for Weber. Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for Steve Novak. And it's Pat Connaughton in for Ellis. Minnesota also making some changes. Gorgie Dang's checked in for Aldridge. Gibson comes in for Bielitsa. And it's Crawford in for Tyus Jones. Pass to Connaughton. Azealia screen. Pocket 6. Brooks against Lillard. Again, the Trailblazers good for 2.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for Minnesota.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And so taking a look at their season record, this will be win number 31 on the year.
And they put themselves into the driver's seat in regards to the season series with this team. Tonight's win will give them a 2-1 edge with only one left to play.
And as one might have guessed coming into this game, it was indeed another big game tonight for Karl Anthony Towns.
Boy, forget about his stats for a second, right? What impressed me most was his stamina. It seemed like he was involved in every play. And with that kind of activity, I don't know how you don't wear down.
Zhang with a screen on Lillard. Brooks kicks to Muhammad. Jang inside. Conley on him. And finished off by Jang.
And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one on ice.
I think that's exactly the mentality you have to have. You don't want to give this team any hope of coming back.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
No question he got bumped on that shot.
Shooting for Portland. At the line for two. No good on the free throw. So neither attempt will fall that time for him. Now Brooks. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Cole, you looked like you were very comfortable out there tonight. What was your mindset?
I'm just trying to come out here and impact the game. That's the biggest thing is when you come into the game, just give a lot of energy and do the little things.
Added up to a big win. Thank you, Cole. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David. Great job. Thanks so much. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Doris Burke, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.